I still remember from the time I was a kid, my dad looking me in the eyes and saying, "Son, are you listening to me, or are you just waiting to talk?" And as a kid, that phrase drove me nuts because, of course, I was doing the latter. It's almost something that becomes inherent to us for our entire lives. We don't listen to anybody. We are constantly processing in our brain and thinking about what to say next. And I challenge you to think about that the next time you're talking to somebody. Think about whether or not you're listening to them. So the reason I point this out is because we talk a lot about how we create better relationships, how we grow our businesses, and it comes down to caring and compassion and empathy. And the problem is, to have any of those things, you can't do it if you're spending all your time thinking about the next thing you're going to say or the next opportunity to sell to somebody. I think most of us would, if we were to be honest with ourselves and honest with others, we'd say, we really like when we feel that somebody is truly listening to us. I think you can probably go through in your mind and look at a handful of different conversations you've had with people who truly care about you, maybe a friend or a loved one, or someone you work with that's just amazingly empathetic or compassionate. But as a whole, so many of us run into every conversation where, as we're listening to people speak, we're just saying, "Oh man, how can I respond to this opportunity with something that I could sell you?" And that might be an actual sale. It's a big problem for most sales professionals. Or that might just be a chance to tell somebody your one-up story. Don't you all love when somebody wants to one-up everything you do? You know, I climbed K2. Well, I climbed Mount Everest. Well, you know what? I don't care. Some of the best ways you can build relationships with people is by being humble and being empathetic and listening. And all those things require us to do more with these and less with these. And this seems like it's a pretty basic lesson, but I can't even begin to tell you how many times it gets missed. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I miss it. And this is as much a reminder to myself about things that I can do to be better as it is a reminder to anybody out there listening to this, because we could all benefit so much more if we spent and invested more of our energy into hearing what the people who are talking to us are telling us. It's the best way. It's not just about selling. It's about communication. It's about, you can't truly give somebody a response in their best interest if the only thing you're thinking about is what your best interest is. It has to be theirs. That's what it all comes back down to. That's what empathy really is. So when my dad said that to me, I hated it. It drove me crazy because he was right. It drove me crazy because I knew that the only thing that was important to me was getting my say in. And we all know how much it drives us crazy when someone else always has to get the last word in. Well, it's not about the last word. It's not about getting in your say. It's not about what you have to say next. It's about listening to people and truly caring about what they're saying, and then responding, even if it takes you a little longer, even if you can't respond to them in real time because you want to think about it. But at least that person knows you really care. And in the long run, better relationships are formed, and yeah, the business will come too.